Hello, there are four types of tissues that we're going to be looking at. Histology is the study of tissues, so today we're going to look at some histology with some of my favorite snacks, wings. There are four main groups of tissue. The first one is epithelium. Epithelial tissue is the outside covering, or often on the outside of the skin. On the epithelial tissue on this lovely little chicken wing is a flattened one. So this is squamate epithelial tissue. Then, next type of tissue. Once we remove the epithelial tissue, you can see underneath that there is muscle tissue. There are three types of muscle tissue. This one represents skeletal muscle. And skeletal muscle is the muscle that's on the skeleton, and it helps in body movement. Another type of nervous tissue that's a little trickier to see in cooked organisms is nervous tissue. Excuse me. The next type of tissue is nervous tissue, and it usually runs right next to the bone. Here you can see the nervous tissue innervating our lovely little chicken wing. Now, don't confuse the nervous tissue with the blood vessels, which is easy to do. The nervous tissue is usually shinier, and the blood vessels usually have a redder brown tinge to them. Now, when you look at connective tissue, there's many different types of connective tissue. Let me show you one. One of the first main types of connective tissue is it gives the chicken wing its lovely juiciness or greasiness, and that is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is for energy storage, also called fat. It helps with insulation if you're something like a whale. And it also helps cushion and pad the organism. A little adipose is good. Too much will hinder things. Another type of connective tissue I want to look at, there we go, is found deeper underneath the muscles. Just a second, I'm going to clear away some muscles. There we go. On the end of the bones, there is cartilage. Cartilage is also connective tissue. Cartilage helps to cushion and pad, and it's usually found in joints. You also have your muscles attached, and here you can see the muscle attached to the cartilage. This is attached with a connective tissue that's quite dense, so this is dense connective tissue here. We're also looking at one main type of connective tissue, the bone. Inside the bone, bone is a connective tissue, and inside the bone there are two types of bone. There is the spongy bone, which you can find more towards the middle, and then there's a compact bone, which is more on the outside of the bone. Here's our cartilage right here. See our nice our connective tissue, cartilage. Another connective tissue is blood. Blood is a connective tissue. Here you have a blood vessel. The blood vessel itself contains smooth muscle, but you have the blood flowing through the blood vessel. I'm just going to stop for a moment while I get some more connective tissue here. Welcome back. I'm just trying to find a ligament. Ligaments hold bone to bone, and tendons hold muscle to bone. So I was trying to find a ligament, but there is a ligament that holds the radius to the ulna. And then you also have your tendon, which holds your muscle to your bone. So if you notice here, you have your skeletal muscle, and it's going to a bone right there. So there's your tendon, and ligaments hold the muscles together. So we've talked about connective tissue, we've talked about adipose, we've talked about bone, we've talked about cartilage, we've talked about dense connective tissue. In the skin has a nice stretchy, elasticy texture to it, and that is to do with loose connective tissue. There we go, some nice elasticity to it. That's loose connective tissue. Then we talked about blood being a connective tissue. I think we've hit most of the connective tissues. Yummy connective tissues. Now you can see another blood vessel. There's a nice nerve right there, nice and white. The nerve is white because of the neuroglia cells, which are the cells that protect the nerve tissue itself. The nervous tissue is two types of cells. You've got neurons, and then you have neuroglia. Your neuron is the ones that transport, and your neuroglia help protect. So your neuroglia add the nice shiny bit on the outside. So I think we've talked about had a lovely discussion about our tissue. So epithelial tissue is covering tissue, and it's also for protecting. You find epithelial tissue on skin, and the lining of your blood vessels would have epithelial tissue in it. Then you have your connective tissue. Your connective tissue is your ligaments, which is dense connective tissue. We've got collagen, which is part of your loose elastic connective tissue. Then you have your bone, your cartilage, and blood is connective tissue. Oh, adipose, which is your fat, is also connective tissue. Connective tissue is characterized by cells inside a matrix. Then you also have your muscle tissue. So here we have our lovely skeletal muscle. And then you have your nervous tissue. So thank you very much for joining me in this lovely demonstration of tissues. Quite yummy. Enjoy. And next time you're having wings with your buddies, don't share all this information. They'll think you're weird. But unless they're the science types. And then please do share your information. If not, just keep this all to your head. And you go, oh, there's some nice adipose tissue there. Yummy. Thank you.